So, hello again, it's me, Toby. While I was browsing the halls of the degeneracy, I stumbled across a book that I quite enjoyed, titled Descendants of a Bookworm. It is an isekai, which, for those out of the loop, is a genre of Japanese books where someone gets transported into a different world, which is overused, which is an overused genre in the light novel space. So, A Sense of a Bookworm is an isekai that goes against that norm of being overpowered power fantasy novels and having it be more of a domestic affairs isekai. It has a female protagonist, which is nice. It has a fairly unique writing style or point of view, I would say. It's more common over in the light novel space of Japan, all the way across the ocean. But for the books I've read, it's fairly unique, which has the point of view is in first person, which is an interesting read to say the least. The author uses this point of view to the benefit of the story as well. Oh, it's dark now. Let me go fix that. There we go. Now, as I was saying, um, the main way the author uses this is as a way to communicate world building, because with having since the protagonist is going into a different world, having it be in first person, so we can see the thoughts, reactions of the character. It's not third person, so we only know one perspective, but yeah, we can see the thought reaction of the character, which helps the world building by giving us a character to push ourselves onto so that we can learn about the world at the same time the character learns about it. If any of that word jargon mess interested you at all, I encourage you to read it. It's a very high quality book, and I want more weebs in the world, okay? Now onto my thoughts on the book itself, and some authors stylistic things. I think the pacing, looking at my notes, was nice. And also, as I mentioned before, having it also uses analogs when communicating world building to help us understand how the world in this story works. Like, for example, with money, it compares it to a real life currency, so we have a frame of reference. Very nice, standard isekai stuff, but things that are important nonetheless. Check the notes again. Whoa, imagine having notes. The pacing is a little bit. Actually, it's fine for me at least, but I read a little fast, so for some people it might be a bit slow. I think for the most part it'll be decent because its pacing is very consistent. There's not a lot of all the unimportant, most of the unimportant stuff is skipped with a little bit of touching on the unimportant stuff because it is important, but nevertheless a little bit about how the protagonist lives their lives. And moments of high octane, high action are notably faster because to give a sense of realism, like, holy shit, this is happening. Oh, I shouldn't swear. Wait. Holy frick, this is happening real fast, and we need to do super high speed reaction time. Everything's happening. And yeah. Also, a small overview of the story. So if I check my notes here. So a girl named Urano dies to getting crushed under books after an earthquake, and reincarnates into a more primitive world. The world is a medieval setting, but with magic, and our protagonist, unfortunately, does not have magic to use. And instead of reincarnating into a healthy child, okay, good job, phone, she reincarnates into a sickly child named Mine, who, without, all the books that she's had and she's in a different world, is now just kind of sad because they don't have any of their previous life's joy. So now, in this different world and as a different person, she has to adjust to life here and eventually find books or make them herself. I would say, with the fact that the author gives information about how to make paper and books in a semi-usable fashion, I just think it's a good book. I'd give it a 5 out of 5. I had a good time with it, and considering that another volume of part 4 is coming out like at the end of the month, actually. I encourage more people to get into it because it's very good. The library doesn't have that many of them, but you can get them online. So, yeah, I liked it. You'll probably like it too. Unless you don't, then it's not my problem then.